Good morning, everyone. I'm not really sure how much the market's going to be moving this morning just because we have Papa Powell speaking at 10 o'clock this morning. So we could just be chopping around probably for the first 30 minutes of the market. Man, we have the open day close sitting down at the 22. I definitely like that bounce off the 22.23. We just don't want to hammer ourselves after having a fairly good week on our trading accounts. So if we do take a trade this morning on any of our accounts, we're going to probably be downsizing a little bit. So we're just going to be on here this morning just to kind of just take our 5-second trade and look for possible the 5-minute inside bar. And that'll be pretty much our 2 trades today. Just be careful if you're taking trades down into the 20s. Got support down at the 20, between 25 and 20 there. And if we break through those levels, probably your next level down there is going to be 215. Today could be a pretty choppy day, guys, because we've had fairly decent movement overnight. See how we... Let's see here. So, almost a 300 point, 200 point move overnight. So we started out, the low was at 23.74 all the way up to 300. So these are the kind of days you just kind of get, you can get ripped up. So just be aware that if you're going to be taking a lot of like trading, it could just be an extremely choppy day. So the New York session could be your what is it called? Your consolidation this morning. Ooh, that's bright. Like I said, it's been a pretty good week this week. So we're like a trade or two away from requesting payout on Apex. Kind of downsize it a little bit so it's easier to see. So we're sitting at 26,396. We have to get over $600 to be able to request a payout. Hopefully, I don't think I've broken any rules of this account, but I've had this thing for months and months and months. So there's possibility that I might have broke some rule because I've had this funded since last year. So we've had it for a while. Then with our Bulanox account, I'm hoping next month we can hit a payout with it. So what do we got? I'll have to show you. We're sitting right at about $2,000 over the last couple weeks on that account. So let's see. So this is why let me log out real quick. Let's show you. I got time. I got 10 minutes. Kind of downsize a little bit. So we're at 1,826 on the 50K on the Bewley, and you got to get to 36. No, the reason why is because I've traded it off and on. A lot of times if I had like a bad week on it, I would just take a break on it so I wouldn't go tilt on it. So it always worked best for me to take a break. Because, you know, like a lot of times if you got to have a red day on your accounts, you try to overtrade to get it back. And that was some of the stuff that I was real bad about doing in the past. So now I just take a break from it. If I feel myself doing bad with it, I just stick it away, don't trade it. Like I've had this account for quite a long time. Let's see. I can go back and look and see how long I've had it. All right, let me log back over there because our first accounts this morning that we're trading on Apex, so far I think we're what, 3, the 5 second was a loss yesterday but the rest of the week was winners. This PA account here is the one that we've been trading the 5 seconds, and we're up 918 on it. And that's almost strictly been about 70% of the 5 second trade. Let's see. I hate that Apex added this one thing, but I guess I understand why. So now you have to put in a freaking code every time you log on to Apex. Where is it at? So I've had this account for 69 days to kind of give you a idea. Well, no. That's how many trading days I have on this account. We've had a lot of trading days on this account, but we've been small trading where, you know, not really trying to hit home runs with every time. So here's the account. It don't really give the date I've had it. I've had it since last year. We've had it for a while. Oh, yeah, that's right. I think I remember that. You saying you were in Springfield. Good morning, Paul. I don't know if you guys have been taking the 5-minute inside bar. I'm almost skeptical to taking it today because it's 4 for 4 this week. Last week, it only had 1 loss. So that thing has been literally, 9 for 8 over the last 2 weeks. So, good morning, Capital. So I'm kind of a little nervous to even take the 5-minute setup this week just because I don't know. You know, it's like that 5-minute trade is usually about a 70 to 80% win rate. So I feel like it's due for a loss today. I think if I do trade it, we're just going to downsize. So I think today is going to be a downsize day. So usually I've been trading 10 micros on this 5-second setup, but today I think we're just going to do 6. This way, if we do take a loss, $60 to $100 will be the max that we can lose today on this account that we're getting ready to take this on. Like I said, a lot of support. I wish this trade wasn't so close. So this is the setup that I'm like one good trade away from a payout on. And this is where I've been taking, you don't get this trade but maybe 3 times a week, sometimes only 2. So what it is to bounce off the previous open day close. And we've been looking for 10 to 20 points. And this one has a 70 to 80% win rate too. So it has a nice win rate, but you just don't get it every day. Like last week, I think we only got it once. It's just because a lot of times when it gets away from it, it just doesn't come back or it hits it overnight. So, you know, if you're up at 4 o'clock in the morning, see how you had the nice retest of the open day close at my time, I guess 3:30. Look, 3:30 bounce, then literally just rip 40 points off of that open day close. There's a lot of good trades off of that level in the middle of the night. The fact that you just have to be up at that time is the, you know, issue for most people. And a lot of times at the opening, it can be very kind of iffy too, just because of all the buying pressure that we have or selling pressure. So a lot of times it's not respected. To me, it's better between that 10 and 11 hour after the market's kind of settled down and it just kind of eases into it. So yesterday, I want to say we got it around 11 o'clock or somewhere between 10 and 11 yesterday. I feel like this morning is going to be a crappy trading session, and that's only because of the big movement we had overnight, and Papa Powell speaks in 30 minutes. So I don't know if, you know, pretty much everybody's going to be waiting for Papa Powell to speak before we get any kind of movement. So I'm probably going to stay away from shorts. I'm only going to look for longs just because I don't like the shorts down into the 20s and the 15s. I just feel like we'll just get stuck in those areas. So we could bounce back, hit the 22, 23 area and just rip straight back up. So I'm going to stay away from shorts on this 5-second setup this morning. All right, 20 points. So if we start out long in this thing, the second candle just barely goes up, we won't take it. We need to see like a 50 to 60% pullback on that first 5-minute candle. Also, I've noticed that a lot too lately from trading this particular setup. All right, so we got less than a minute to go here, or less than 2 minutes to go. Go long. Yeah, I like that too, Capital. I like that long back up there. I just don't know if I'll be getting that from the early start. I definitely feel like that's a nice long down there. I'm hoping it doesn't happen right away. I hope it gives us a little bit of time to do that. Because I wouldn't mind looking for 10 points, 10 to 20 points out of the 20s. All right, here we go. Like I said, I'm not going to stress about this trade this morning because it's Friday. My goal is not to lose more than $60 on this trade if we can help it. All right, less than 20 seconds, guys, less than 20 seconds. All right, here we go. No, what did dude? You son of a bee. I was trying to wait for the retest back up. Oh, that did me dirty. Oh, that did me so dirty. So that lost me $100 on that trade. All right, now we'll switch. Let's see if we get a bounce out of this area here. Woo, I think it went all the way down there. Now we're just kind of waiting on the 5 minute setup, guys. So it'll probably take a little bit for that setup to happen. Yeah, I should have never been tagged in on that 5 second there because your, where is it at? Entry should have been back up here, right here. So that should have been your entry for the 5 seconds. Because a lot of times what happens if it barely goes up, it always goes back down to the bottom. Remember, the rest of the morning can be fairly choppy. You got Papa Powell coming on in like, what, 25 minutes. what could we trade in case, what, 17, we got 17. Capital, did you get long at the 20s? You would have to sit about, what, 10 points of drawdown. We got 4 minutes left on this next 5-minute candle. And right now it's just kind of consolidating. So that could be our first 5-minute inside bar. You're long? Yeah, I think you got a nice long if you're long from this area. I'd like to see us back above the 50s. I may have to switch over to Bewley real quick because we're... Got 2 minutes left. Let me switch over to my Bewley accounts because that's the one that I've been trading that 5-minute on. The only see how big of a stop. Oh, man, that's gonna be a... What's that? But never mind. Never mind. Nice on the long there, Capital. Yeah, like I said, I'm just not a big fan of this area here. It's so close to opening. All right, here comes a pullback here. I wouldn't mind seeing a retest. What, 50s? I don't know if we'll get there or not. Nice trade starting out this morning in Capital. I wish I had the nerves or the boys to take this one, but I did not. Oh, no, it has not trust. I just don't like trading that setup so early in the morning, so close to the open. Yeah, I guess I could have took a zero contract. I was focused on the 5 second breakout this morning. Yeah, this setup has been happening over and over. I did not mean to get tagged in so quick. This was the same exact open that we had yesterday. So 5 second candle, barely wicks above it, pulls all the way back, then rips. Let's see here. Let's see if we get that pullback to the 90s here or even in the 80s. Finally getting some nice separation here. Nice trade, Capital, 100 points. So we're also at yesterday's open. We also got yesterday's highest end if they're 69. So definitely a possible target this morning. Really want to see a pull. I like to see it pull back all the way into the 90s or even the 80s. Wow, insane wick that was. 20-point wick off of that. Only thing we're doing now is just waiting for some kind of like decent pullback. Oh, that was a weird jolt, 40 points down out of nowhere. Just remember, guys, we do have Powell speaking in 10 minutes. Man, these insane rips are just insane right now. We're also kind of watching the 5-minute chart over here too to see if we get that inside bar play. All right, so it looks like that 69 is going to be your target up there. I'm not really sure what was going on at the 40s yesterday. Like I said, I'm not going to be like over in a hurry to try to get trades today, being Friday. So we're just trying to limit our reds today. I figure eventually we got to get this 21 EMA pullback or even 50 pullback here. We only got about 10 minutes left before there's probably not going to be any more trading for a few because that's when Papa Powell speaks. So just be aware that if you are in trades at 10 o'clock this morning. We've got about 8 minutes left. I'd like to get this 21 EMA pullback, then make a run up to the 69s. $60 max we're going to risk on this account. See, I think we're up. Make sure I pay attention. I think we're up like $500 or $600 overall on this account. Yeah, $515. So shoot, we might have missed it. Yeah, I think we missed it. If it's 10 points, all right, so we missed it. That was the reaction we were looking for. We just missed it by a few points. So we won't take it a second time because a lot of times it doesn't work the second time. All right, so we missed that one. See if we get back above 22. See if we make a run to the highs back above 20s here. Is this thing going to pay another 10 points off of that? You may get another 10 points off of it. I don't know. I don't like the second push. Usually if you don't get the first push, I don't even try it. Well, yeah, see? No. Got about 2 or 3 wicks right here for another wick retest here. Remember, if you don't get this on the first push, so like if it misses you by a couple points, don't ever try the second push because the second push hardly ever works. So like if this misses us by like, let's say a tick or two, we only got about 3 minutes left before Papa Powell speaks. See, we're selling through. Son of a bitch. Okay. So that was for $60. It was just 3 micros. I thought we'd get saved by these wicks over here. Remember, guys, Powell speaks in 2 or 3 minutes, so be careful if you're in trades. What do we got? All right, guys, remember 1 minute before Powell comes on, so be careful if you're in your trades. Man, we bounced right off of that 46, 47 area. Whew. Insane, guys, insane. Whew. OMG, that was insane. Insane, insane, insane. Hopefully no one was short there. This is why I kept repeating that over and over about be careful with your trades. There's the session high all the way up 69 in one sweep. Whew, that was insane, guys. Insane. Oh my goodness. Oh, shoot. Insane, insane. Wow, this thing's just straight to the moon, guys. Holy goodness. Whew, did anybody get caught in that? Was everybody out of their trade safely? Damn. I figured they'd at least wait for Papa Powell to say something before they ripped it like that. I'm kind of wondering what the 50% pullback is on this. All the way back to the 400s. Yeah, we got to get some kind of pullback here. Or 400. If I can find some kind of entry on this without risking a bunch, that's what our goal is. Maybe risk like $20 or something. I want to see us lose the 500s and just see if we sell all the way back down to the 4s. Oh, shoot. One more 10. I got to move my stop loss because we're only doing this with 1 micro. Well, may not get the 50% pullback here. I feel like this is... I feel like 20s is the line in the sand here. No. Damn. Yeah, I want to see a 50% pullback on this. Oh no, what the crap? Dude. Dude, fucking A. I might have effed up. Son of a B. Yeah. That was supposed to be 1 micro and freaking went in on 10 by accident. Son of a bitch, man. Yeah. Son of a bitch. That sucks. I just fucked my account. Son of a bitch. I gotta get off of that. That sucks ass. Ugh, my goodness. What time is it? 9:08. This is insane. Damn it. Wow, all the way to 600, guys. Insane right now. Oh, man, it might be time for me to walk away. Man. Nice little wick bounce. Another wick bounce. Yeah, I know. That would have been insane holding a runner in this craziness. Whoo, this thing is still pushing. we got the previous week low sitting at 87. %50 for the weeks, all the way up at 820. Holy shit. Like I said, 87 is your week low here. 588. Dude, all we can do is just watch this thing go straight up, guys. This is just insane. The next level up is what? Be the 800s? Oh my goodness. You would think that we would bounce here at the 600s. We got a big wick sitting there at the 696 or something like that. There's that wick. There's the 90 hit. There's a 9 EMA hit. got a lot of wicks sitting down there at the, what, 40? All right, guys, it's time for me to walk away for the day before I sit over here and get the FOMO. We're still going to probably wait for the 5-minute inside bar for Bulanox. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back Monday. Thank you guys for watching.